Hello and welcome to Royale Without Cheese, our bi-weekly podcast in which we discuss both the classic and the unknown of art and popular cinema from the then and now. We are your hosts, me, Tomás Ferreira, Leonardo Miranda,
Olá!
and Miguel Aido.
Olá!
Today we talk about The Headless Woman, but before any ado, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, or simply give us a like. The Headless Woman is a 2008 Argentinian psychological drama art film written and directed by Lucrecia Martel. The plot revolves around Veronica, who hits something while driving on a deserted road near Salta. Not being sure if she has hit a person or an animal, she drives off and becomes increasingly mentally disturbed. The film premiered in competition at the Cannes Film Festival in 2008. While The Headless Woman was mostly lauded by critics for its cinematography and social commentary, others were critical towards the film's slow pace and lack of clear narrative. In 2016, the film was amongst the BBC's list of the 100 greatest films of the 21st century. Very well, people went headless for this Martel's sham, but was Royale Without Cheese has sold on this allegorical class tale, or was it just a hit and miss? Or hit and run? Fellas, what do we say?
That was a good one, though. That was a good one.
That was one of the best.
I'm getting the general vibe is that we didn't care much for the film.
Yeah.
But why?
Well, why? If you don't like a movie, explain why.
C'est ça la question.
C'est la question du cinéma.
I think it's definitely worth a second watch more attentively. It's one of those films that it may unveil itself with the second and third watch much more. My immediate feelings towards it is that I'll start at the root of the problem. I found out this film, I found about this Lucrecia Martel film through Mark Kermode, I think on Instagram or something. He often puts out, certain movie recommendations. And I was very intrigued by the plot, basically about this, bourgeois woman who is driving in her car and suddenly she hits something, not sure if a dog or in this case a little boy, and that just permeates the rest of her week, and what is her authorship in this situation of a life loss. And so I was very intrigued by that because, it really flirts with that capacity that cinema has to have a dialogue with the invisible, what we don't know, what is left suggested. Has she really, killed someone, or is that not the case? And how does that affect her as a person, as a mother, has many, many things. And so in the whole visual of the film, the whole visual prowess of the film that we witness as it envelops is very, aesthetically, is very pleasing and gripping in the sense that you really feel her discombobulating and falling apart, through the framing as she's set in the edge of frames and often cut out, while she's in the bathroom taking a bath, or in other situations in family gatherings. She's always somewhere off, she's always isolated and leaving the aftermath of that explosion, so to speak. And so to the level of the visual expression of what that feeling entails, of guilt, of responsibility towards something that happened, that only she knows what was, if she knows indeed, that's an interesting thing to explore as an idea. However, I come to see the film with a lot of these expectations, but also some of them confirm, as I explained, of what the visuals are. But the thing that struck me that I did not like was the fact that, okay, the question, did she or did she not hit something? What was that something? I really like the emptiness of it, of not knowing, because that idea really, puts the rest of the film potentially in a heightened tension situation, the fact that we don't know to the very end. And that's where the power of suggestion lies. We never know. The thing is, when she hits that something, we clearly see what she hits. She runs off, and we have a back shot of what clearly I can tell it's a dog. And the movie, for the rest of the time, tries to argue, but was it a dog? And even tries towards the end.
Is it clear?
It was very clear to me. It felt a lot. I mean, it was so clear that I was like, no, maybe I'm seeing things. And I kept seeing it, and to me,
what do you mean you kept
really
seeing
like
it?
a dog. I would just focus on the shot. I was focused on the shot, and I was thinking about, is that a dog? No, maybe it's not a dog, but it really looks like a dog. I was just keeping questioning myself because the shot really lingered a lot. It gave you time to really evaluate if that was a dog. And I mean, this is my opinion, but it really felt like one. And I would much rather just the absence of, don't show it at all. I mean, even if it wasn't a dog, don't show it at all. That's the basis of it. They shouldn't have showed anything. because it should have ended with that shot of her, that profile of her inside the car, which was beautiful. Like, I mean, the switch of emotion from being focused on the road to then sudden sadness. Amazing. Live there. She lives out. Storm starts. Cut to the next scene. They show me the dog, or whatever it was. I think it was a dog, and it breaks that tension because then afterwards, the rest of the film, which relies on this question, was it or was it not, it kind of falls flat. I don't see.
But it kind of doesn't matter, if she believes
It does matter. It does matter greatly.
If she,
It
no, but
matters
if
greatly.
if she believes that it might have been a person, it doesn't matter what we saw as an audience member because she's still paranoid about it.
Well, okay, let's say that. Let's say it was a dog, but she believes that it was a person. In her head, I hit a person. I didn't have enough time to process, and I think it was a person. And we as an audience, we think it was a dog. The thing is, the film really wants you, from my reading of the film towards the end, really wants you to read that one of the little kids, whether it was a third brother or a third friend, was the one that got missing and died. I think that's what the film wants you to believe, that she really killed that kid. And then I'm like, well, this is just strange because it was a dog. It's just strange, It just confirmed that guilt.
I don't think it's okay. It does seem like a dog, but I don't think you can say so certainly that the film like never makes you question if you're right. I mean, I think there's enough doubt because the shot is far away and the shape is kind of the same as to a little kid that you might wonder, well, is she right though, or did she hit two things and we're only seeing the dog? Because the
Yeah,
car
that was my thing.
seems like it goes through two things. Did she hit a dog and a person? I don't know, because we do see the kids like chasing a dog in the beginning, so we are like given a certain context of kids and dogs running
Sure.
around in that area, so it's not entirely impossible. And to be honest, I just didn't focus too much on whether or not.
Don't add two bodies to the scene. There's one body.
Yes,
I'm
no.
focusing on
There's
one body.
yes, but we didn't learn that some kid drowned and fell into the river. Maybe that body went straight to the river. I don't know.
I
and
didn't
we
remember that
see
bit.
I just think that
Get drowned?
it kind of supposedly it drowned.
That's what they're fishing out.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's that whole thing. But I don't
Yeah.
think the film is saying that she killed him necessarily. It's giving you
Yeah.
clues, it's giving you information. You do with that information whatever you want to do with it. Like the kids were running through those canals. It's like it's not completely inconceivable that something could have happened by themselves, like they fucked up or one of them slipped or something like that. Like doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, if the kid is in there, it's because she hit him. Like I don't think the film is just giving you information and saying, hey, it could be her, but like the main point is that she doesn't really do enough to try to solve the problem, to try to solve the question of whether or not I killed a person, right? But for me, that wasn't enough to make the film interesting. I just don't think, I don't know, I just didn't really care for this emotional journey, which is very
Yeah,
sad
me neither.
throughout this. It's kind of just the same thing over and over again. Like, oh, did I hit something? Did I not? I don't. Doesn't. It's like she's having sex with the cousin of her husband.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes completely like, okay, that was a thing. And then
Yeah,
just
exactly.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then,
Complete
the daughter of a relative of hers
Has a
seems to
crush.
also like her, like she tries to
Yeah.
kiss her. It's like everyone wants to kiss this person.
Very, very
This person is like the most wanted like woman in this village or something. I don't know. It's like everyone wants to be with her. It's the husband, well, the husband of course, but the cousin of the her cousin, no, her
I
husband's
think
cousin, so
it's her
someone.
husband's cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's lady, that younger woman, really, she's much younger. It's like I don't know, the film throws these little elements of ambivalent relationship situations that you're not kind of entirely sure what they mean, and it is interesting, but I'm not sure how it all fits together and what it's trying to say more than just, oh, she's in love with this older woman. I don't know. I'm trying to fit the pieces, but like there's obviously there's intention and there's some sort of commentary there, but I'm not entirely sure I got it or how it fits the whole movie.
Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about the whole film too. Yeah, just kind of what am I? I don't know what to feel. It's like I don't know how to engage with this. It could be interesting. I mean, there's films that kind of build upon that ambiguity, but I don't think this film does enough to really make you feel for her, like to go in her journey, even if you're like critical of her, still be with her and understand the anxiety. Again, it's the visuals do most of the heavy lifting for me. It's like, okay, she's
Exactly.
framed it this weird, strange way, which makes you feel uneasy.
But that only goes so far.
Yeah, that only goes so far.
It
Like in
loses
the
its novelty.
first 20 minutes, like great, fantastic. But then can we like just some more development? I don't know. It just feels so going in a loop and doing the same thing. I don't know. I really couldn't go into the film after a while. It's just kind of waiting for it to end.
And it's kind of, I don't know, it feels a very cold film. It's hard to connect with the character. It feels like at a distance constantly. It's not a film that is very welcoming. I don't know how to describe it. It's true. I mean,
No, I just like the word welcoming. It doesn't give you slippers. It doesn't put you comfortable. You know,
but
and
it's true though. It's true.
and it's true. And it's true. I agree. I understand
I
what you
feel
mean.
like it's a rude film.
It's
Like you're
rude.
mean. You're a mean person in a film.
The good
In
person.
the shape of a film. I don't
Well,
know.
it's interesting. I think the perhaps the rudeness is part of its atmosphere because there are some interesting ideas here. But it's like it the film to me is sort of married with something of good and something of not so interesting. Which the non interesting part is the fact that the visual concept loses its novelty after a while. And so the journey is like, okay, I've seen it already and I cannot accompany you anymore. I'm kind of lost here. But then there are some interesting aspects in the sense that you present an interesting idea, Mike, in the sense that she runs over a dog and she may not be aware that it was even a dog. She thinks in her head that she hit a person and she lives with that. I didn't make that little link. But with that said, that makes it for an interesting voyage what she goes afterwards. And what happens is, like Lenny said, she never reacts. She stays in a little bubble, doesn't know how to even behave. And she's kind of, as far as I'm concerned, and what I see in the film, Martel has this visual affair with the bourgeoisie and criticizing it in Argentina. So in this film, you do see a lot of how the family operates around her and friends of the family around her, and telling her not to take risks and not to say certain things or do certain things that expose what she did, and they take care of things in the shadows for her. So to not link her up with that hit and run, which may or may not have resulted in a serious death. But to not take any risks at all, we'll take care of this for you. That's interesting. You know, that's at least that's one of the intriguing things, and that always keeps her at bay of not doing anything. And the fact of the matter, what's rude even in the character, is that she doesn't even try to do anything. She's comfortably numb, like Pink Floyd says. You know, it's just like she's there and she's mouth half open, looking at the sprinklers or the, I think at some point she's in the garden. I don't know if she's there's an image or the impression of her like sprinkling watering some plants or something, or a pool, I don't know. And yeah, she's always in that sort of state, and that feels like a critique of these people not taking action to do something generous or show empathy when they fuck up with someone of the lower class because it's disposable. And to try and express that idea with something as extreme as a hit and run is an interesting attribute of the film that caught my eye.
Yeah, I think that does connect with some of, at least in theory, the ideas that I think they were trying to be portrayed here, with the fact that she's bourgeoisie and this, as you said, this idea of, well, I have a life that I need to try to maintain, so I'm not gonna try to see if he's alive. I'm gonna try to just go ahead and keep going and ignore it, and then through the husband and the cousin, those two trying to scrub off the links that she had to the supposed the hit and run. So the staying at the hotel, the X-ray scan things that she left at the hospital. So there's an attempt at trying to hide this. And yeah, I think it speaks to that side of this upper class and this feeling of being able to get away with things. But again, I think it clashes a little bit with what we see, because I don't fully see her as this person of that class. I don't know. It's just she works as a dentist. Okay, she has a gardener and some people working in her house, but I mean, I don't know. The whole environment of the film doesn't really invite me to think this person is living this amazing life and she is clearly in a different class than someone else. Even considering where the film is set, I mean, this town, village, I don't know, it just seems rural. It seems kind of and because we start in these roads, in the middle of nowhere, we kind of are thrown immediately into this setting of kind of being out in nowhere. So I don't know, it clashed a little bit to me, this idea that she's super wealthy and that we're supposed to believe that because she's trying to hide this. I don't know. I think there are ideas here in theory, but then in practice, I'm not entirely sure they come through. But I do get the commentary, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a film of ideas. It's very Antonioni in that sense of the milieu that it inhabits. I think I liked a lot. Thinking of La Ventura, for example, comparing, I think I liked that one a bit more. I think there was a bit more of an attempt at plotting at the plotting of things in relation to the ideas, even if I didn't fully connect. I think here it's just like, for example, them scrubbing off the links, as Mike was saying. I didn't really like what was like, because to me they really did not even, or maybe I just didn't interpret it well. Like it didn't seem like they believed she had anything to do with it. So then it seems like an admittance of guilt or like an understanding of her guilt on their part that I didn't really. I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting little turn, but I didn't really see it. I didn't really feel it that was happening. Like I felt like, I don't know. It's
I
just
think the shift happened somewhere where, they're investigating the kid that went missing and they're fishing him out.
exactly.
And I think somewhere around there, maybe they tend to think that she may have done it, or a little turn in their mindset. And oh, did she do it? Maybe we should be safe. And I think
Yeah,
it's
I
around
think
that time.
that's it. I don't know. I guess I just kind of wanted it to be a little more like if there was the news report saying like, oh, the kid has like signs of trauma, like in the body, like maybe he was hit. Then okay, like I just feel like that would make things a little more
Yeah, heighten the
understandable.
stakes.
Yeah, heighten the stakes a
Yeah.
little bit. I don't know. Is that asking too much? Just a
Yeah.
little more, just something to make it feel more connected.
Exactly.
Like she actually might have,
Related, connected. Yeah.
like
That
she
this
might have actually
matters.
killed a
That
person.
this has
Yeah,
weight in her life.
yeah,
Yeah.
it feels very
This is not all
weightless.
imaginary. Because then
Yeah.
if it's all in the head, you don't see it. It's just there, and you, the viewer, needs to kind of interpret something just to give the film something. Like we need to say to the film, maybe she's thinking things, but we're not being shown stuff. So it's like it's a big emptiness.
It's the annoying thing is that sometimes these movies do. It's like they want to express interiority, like, and that's a very challenging thing to do. I understand it, so I respect that the film does it so well in so many moments with the image, but like the setup to express the interiority, it's like something so plotty and so like interesting narratively that it kind of like then makes it. But come on, does it just need to be interiority in this manner? Can't we develop things a little more traditionally? It kind of annoys me then. It's like you're afraid of dramatizing and making things a little
Yeah.
more narrative. But again, it has a lot of great qualities as we've talked about. It's just frustrated me a little bit. Maybe on a rewatch it won't frustrate so much, but yeah.
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 I'll
That was
I subscribe. But yeah, this makes me also think, you make a bridge with Antonioni and La Ventura. This makes me think of other minimalist films like, and what they do differently. How do they balance the aspect of being an art film with the classical modus operandi of a narrative? For example, Ratcatcher from Lynn Ramsey. It operates on a similar scale in the sense that you have a protagonist, and it's a film that I love. You have a protagonist that comes out of an inciting incident at the very beginning of the film that it has very much to do with death. He drowns a kid by accident in a river. They're playing in a dirty river in Glasgow. He goes up there with him. It's the very beginning of the film, and the kid just is implied that he drowns and dies. And he lives with that death, our protagonist, from the beginning of the film to the very end. But it's not just the death and how the death becomes sticky to him and his body and his mind, his consciousness. It's how it permeates. That dirty, polluted river permeates the lives of the working class people of that city of Glasgow, and that neighborhood. And she's able to really explore that through various means and various scenes that just heightens the stakes of how these people relate to each other, how the very nature of the family, how the father relates to him, and how the mother relates him to this kid is not the best. And he lives in a very infested kind of environment, waiting, hoping for a new house in the projects that are being built elsewhere in this huge field clean of barley, you know. And she's able to create little by little this atmosphere that renovates itself. You see what I mean? You know, and you can see these other antagonistic forces, like these other kids that are bullies to him, you know, and always remind him, I think so, I don't remember as well, but remind him of the friend that he lost. So he's always kind of, you know, coming back around to that guilt, you know, and what is to live this dirtier place, and what is to live with that responsibility. There's also one moment where the mother of the kid, the friend that he accidentally killed, gives him the shoes of his friend, to, like, these sandals to wear, and he doesn't want them, and the mother of the kid really obliges him to use it as and to accept it, and the mother just falls down on the street crying, and the mother of the protagonist just hugs her. And those emotional key moments really help at reestablishing the weight of that inciting incident, you know, because what the protagonist is going through, that interior drama, you know, the problem of the guilt over a death, that problem is, you know, more felt for how much you stress its opposite, the death itself, you know, how much you stress and give strength to the antagonistic forces. You know, the problem doesn't exist on its own. You need to come back around to it, you know, to what originated. And you don't feel that as much in Woman.
True.
That's all for today, folks. If you'd like to reach out and suggest a film for the next episode, you can find us on the podcast official Instagram and website pages. Feel free to subscribe, share this episode, or simply give us a like. That's how our podcast can grow ever more groovy. And if you're on YouTube and want to see more videos like this, check out this next video right here. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.